Hello, friends, and welcome to today's episode. She held on tight to the bedpost and tried to take a deep breath to calm down. The other hand eagerly slid into the space. She was sure she felt something inside. What kind of trouble did she find herself in? Laurel Jakes lived in Oak Creek, a small Wisconsin city. She was a nice person who was always willing to help others. She was always at church fetes and meetings of the school board. Laurel went out of her way to comfort the victims of a recent theft when she heard about it. She even put up signs around town with the thief's face on them. Laurel and her husband were always able to make money from almost anything. They didn't think they needed expensive things to be happy. They were happy with the way things were. But they would run out of money when they needed it most and would have to spend all their savings. It was a surprise to Laurel what life was going to throw at her. Their house and everything in it had been around for a long time. One thing after another broke all the time. The oven and the bedroom furniture both broke in the same month. For food to keep cooking, they spent a lot of money on a new oven. They didn't have any money to buy a new sleeping set, though. What are they going to do? They chose to look through the Facebook marketplace. They got the idea from a friend and thought they might find what they were looking for at a good price. Laurel still wasn't sure if she wanted to buy something from a stranger. The furniture was needed, though. But Laurel chose to look anyway. And she quickly got caught up in the Facebook market. They had the right furniture for sale, and it was close by. What might go wrong? People had told her they had lost their hard-earned money to scammers. Or people not getting what the pictures showed them. Laurel was still sure that nothing bad would happen to her. Laurel fell in love with the desk as soon as she saw it when she got home. Her husband was sure it was old and made by the Amish. But they were both wondering if they had the money to pay for it. They had to move quickly because they could see that the owner was selling all of his things very quickly. If they don't decide now, someone else could take it from them. The brave Laurel got up the nerve to talk to the man. She asked if they might be willing to sell it for $325. It was all the money they had on them. When she asked, he quickly said yes and took the money from her. They bought the lovely set. The man's bad mood didn't bother the couple at all. They were so excited to get the new bedroom set. They got the set for a really good price. However, Laurel soon began to doubt herself. That man agreed to sell the set for such a low price without giving it much thought. It was done, though. They moved the set into the bedroom, but they weren't ready for what they found. She couldn't go back now. Laurel realized all of a sudden that the bedroom wouldn't have room for the chest. She was shocked that she had done something so stupid. She was upset, but she wasn't giving up. She would make a plan. As she sat down and looked at the piece, she thought it was lovely. She put her hand on the smooth wood and felt a small metal piece under the drawers. She told her husband to come over and feel it for himself. He seemed to think it was just a metal piece or a fixture's part. Laurel wasn't sure, though. She tried pulling on it at first, but it didn't move. She and her husband went to bed because they thought it might be a one-time thing. But Laurel couldn't get rid of the strange feeling she had as she lay there. What's wrong with the piece of furniture? She knew that the Amish were proud of how well they made things. It had to be more than that. She couldn't sleep, so she chose to look into it more. When she pressed on the spot, she heard a faint click. A little lone space. She remembered all of a sudden how fast the guy had sold them the furniture. Did he know about this hidden cash? She should really look inside. It was impossible for her to fall asleep when she knew there was something hidden next to her bed. Anything could be it. Could the seller have kept something in there? Did he or the people who owned the furniture want to get rid of something? She had a lot on her mind. One thing had to be done. Laurel's mind started to race with ideas. What could be inside? Something bad, something that could be used against someone, something stolen, evidence? In spite of her fears, she carefully reached into the crack and ran her fingers around the back until she felt something that wasn't meant to be there. She screamed at her husband to wake up. She didn't want to find out by herself what it was. Her husband woke up quickly. I knew it, there's something inside. Laurel whispered in a scared voice. While her husband watched, who was just as interested as she was, Laurel carefully reached inside again with her hand. Would it have jewelry in it? Cash? Useful old things? Cards that are valuable to collect? They thought about a lot of different things. They were shocked when Laurel finally pulled the thing out. That's it. Pushed all the way to the back of the room. It looked like a box of some kind, wrapped in paper. She took her time with it, as if it were fragile. A worn-out brown envelope. She held it carefully with both hands and just stared at it. His irritated answer was, "Well, don't just sit there, open it up." She took a quick peek inside and then looked up at him with wide eyes. Laurel took another look inside the secret section and pulled out another package. When she opened the first package, she was shocked. The first package had a stack of real $20 bills inside when it was opened. It surprised Laurel so much to see that it had a lot of money in it that she almost dropped it. What about the other boxes, though? They were more scared and excited than ever. 2 more bundles needed to be opened. Could they have the same thing in them? What else were they going to find? There was something even more interesting in the second box. There were $50 bills in it. What about the third package, though? There were $100 bills in the third package. A good number of them. From inside the package, I was only looking back at her. Her husband let out a gasp when she threw them all out onto the bed. There was something that kept coming back to her mind. Then she thought about the latest store break-in. The police had never found the stolen goods. Could it be that they had just found the thief's stash? After adding up all the money, they put it on the bed in neat piles. There was a wide band of blue bills that matched the pattern on the quilt. $11,000 altogether. Laurel was sure of what she should do next: tell the cops about what they found. While that was going on, her husband put his hand into the space and looked around some more. Surprise, surprise, another box came out. It was just a bunch of old bank records this time. As Laurel looked at them, her mind wandered, and then it hit her: she knew the Facebook Marketplace seller. As she got back into Facebook, she promised herself that she would find out what was going on. She knew she was right as soon as she saw the seller's description. He was there. Should she inform him of what she knows? Laurel called the person selling the item. What would she do to answer the call? She chose to just lay everything out. She told him in a cool voice what she had found in the secret room and how she was sure it had something to do with him. The last name on the bank records was one she knew: DePere. Their last name was DePere, which was also the seller's. He told Laurel that the sleeping set did belong to his late parents. The furniture was sold at their estate sale. He wanted to get rid of everything and end things. They didn't tell him about their hiding place, though. Would Laurel bring back what was inside? Laurel gave $11,000 a lot of thought as to how she could spend it. She might be able to pay off her granddaughter's college loans, fix up her old house, or take a vacation. She did give in to these crazy dreams for a short time, though. She didn't even think twice about doing the right thing because she was proud of her strong morals and beliefs. Of course, she gave back all the money and bank records right away. The seller really did own the car, though. They saved up that money for a long time and worked hard. It would have been great to have an extra $11,000, but she wasn't a thief. The person who helped the Good Samaritan gave her some of the money she had returned as a prize for being honest. That's it for today, friends. Please let us know what you think about this story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for more amazing stories.